are dark New Zealand films, definitely.
Yeah.
But that's more in terms of drama than it is with horror. Australia lends itself more mixing in the horror because of the landscape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you don't know, dear children, landscape in New Zealand, it's a lot greener. It's a lot softer. It's
More
going to kill
vertical.
you. Yeah, it's going to kill you a lot less.
Yeah.
Until it starts shaking. And then
And the ground is on fire.
Yeah, the ground's, yeah, exactly. So don't discredit it. But that's the will. I mean, nowhere is free from natural disasters.
But no snakes.
So, no snakes.
Yeah.
So there's nothing poisonous or predatory. To be hurt by an animal, you've got to basically go into the bush, find a wild boar and slap it in the face and run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get quite badly hurt by a kiwi if someone fired out of a cannon at you.
Yeah, that's the extent you've got to go to, though. Yeah, yeah. So there's no worries about that. In terms of grass, long grass, you can just run in there and roll around and let kids do it. It's perfectly fine. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But here you don't get earthquakes or volcanoes, touch wood.
Yeah.
To any large extent. Of course it has.
Thankfully, the times I've been in Japan and New Zealand, we haven't had earthquake experience. But I was in Foster Tuncurry when the Newcastle earthquake hit, and we felt
I know about that one. Yeah, that's the one we heard about in New Zealand. Yeah, because in New Zealand, Australia was shown as comparison, but to show that they can happen anywhere, there's the Newcastle one. But that was back in the day, in a country that never thought that it would never happen type construction of buildings. Yeah. Yeah. I never want to be in them again, basically. I'm not going to go down that storyline. Yeah, I'll just end it there. I like being here.
A bit more stable.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So why are we talking about New Zealand so much?
Well, we're talking about New Zealand so much. You can tell from the background here that we're doing a wonderful little New Zealand horror film called Killer Sofa.
Indeed we are. That is the title. Did you pick up, do you remember the original title?
I think it was My Lover, My Lazy Boy.
That's it. Thank you. Yeah. So this is a lazy boy. It's not a sofa. Yeah.
It's a recliner sofa.
Yeah. Recliner chair.
But they were sued by the Lazy Boy company. So they were going to call it My Lover, My Lazy Boy. And then, they weren't allowed to do it for legal reasons. So, Killer Sofa is what it became known as. A sofa, technically speaking, seats 2 or 3. Yeah. A little bit of poetic license. Because Killer Recliner doesn't quite roll off the tongue as well as
Killer Sofa does. Does.
Welcome to the podcast, children. It's the Baron here, coming to you from my dungeon in Brisbane, Australia. And as you can no doubt tell from the title of the vodcast, and from the picture behind me, we're doing a wonderful little New Zealand horror film called Killer Sofa. And I've got Mr. Popcorn here with me. Say hello, Mr. Popcorn.
Yes, hello, Baron. Hello, children. This is cool. We're going back to technically my homeland. I was born in Australia, but I spent 30 to 33 years living in New Zealand. Yes, 47. So basically, I'm still considered a Kiwi even here in Australia. Yeah. So it's cool. We're actually venturing over the Tasman because we'll get back to Australian horror, of course. But we've ventured over the Tasman to Victoria Point in Wellington. Why I say the name so specifically there, because the views in this movie are basically the same that were from my bedroom there, Baron. Yeah. I lived in this suburb and it is right on top of the hill. It takes about 20 minutes to walk up the hill. Wellington is made of hills. It is the place of hills, in New Zealand. And so the views up the top as we get into the movie, they were my views, and this was my suburb when I lived in New Zealand, in Wellington, when I worked there. I'm from Christchurch, though. That's my hometown. Shout out. So I just wanted to mention that whilst recording. Thought it was cool.
I've been to Wellington a lot. I like Wellington. We go to the New Zealand Improv Festival there. One of the scenes for the film was shot in the Bats Theatre, which is where we generally improv festival.
Great theatre. Best theatre in New Zealand. Yeah, absolutely.
So, yes. And if I was to say, let's get a picture. I was going to say the walk around the bay, sort of through Victoria Point or Mount Victoria Bay there is really nice. I did a big long walk the last time I was in Wellington. It's a lovely, lovely place to go for a walk.
Okay. For those who don't know, Wellington is the capital of New Zealand. For Australians who haven't been there, it's New Zealand's Melbourne. Definitely. It's like a little mini Melbourne. It's the art spot. It's the cultural hub. Yeah, definitely. And it happens to be the capital for once. So that's nice.
Yeah.
And Bats is really cool. That's an indie theatre that has been going for decades. We're not talking about any man stage grand theatres here. Is it a black box?
It's got like 3. But it does have a black box in it. So it does have a black box theater in it.
Well, that must be the ones I've seen. Yeah, stuff in it.
Yeah. It used to be a antediluvian order of the Buffalo Lodge.
Really?
Yes. So it used to be that they were the antediluvian order of the Buffalo, which is sent up so many times in the Flintstones. They were actually back and offstage arts people, basically. And they had a lodge there.
Okay.
And that particular theater has been renovated and kept going by Sir Peter Jackson.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. Lord of the Rings dude, this is his hometown. Yes. Never say a bad. Yeah. Okay. Flight of the Conchords.
Flight of the Conchords performed on that theater. So, yeah.
Excuse me. And one of the Flight of the Conchords guys, I forget his name, he is one of the main originators, co-founders of What We Do in the Shadows, going back to the original movie and Kiwi TV series. No, not Reese Darby Glasses.
Oh, and I blanked on his name. That's great for a podcast.
That's okay. We can look it up.
Yeah.
So bad. What were we saying?
The Bats Theatre.
Bats Theatre. Thank you. Yeah. And then how did we get onto here? This is good stuff.
We were talking about one of the scenes, the dancing, the rehearsal scene towards the start of the film is filmed in the Bats Theatre.
Yeah.
So when she's dancing in the black box theatre.
How did we get Jermaine Clement? How did we get onto him? That's where I got lost.
Because they performed in that theatre.
They performed in that theatre. Yeah. And then that's why I explained. Yes, he's one of the co-founders. Yes, Flight of the Conchords. What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. The two best ever comedy things, completely covering everything of all time to come out of New Zealand.
I agree.
By far. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Flight of the Conchords.
Yeah. So Wellington creates interesting, funny, creative, unique people, as is this director there, Baron. I discovered when I went to his website. Yeah.
Yes, Bernie Rao, very interesting fella. I had a bit of a chat to him online in the last couple of days. He's very happy to just give information to us for the movie, which is great. So shout out to Bernie. Thanks for answering my silly question. I asked some standard questions and I asked some silly questions, which we'll get to.
Fantastic. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's really cool.
He did also offer that he's going to be at work, and if he sees my messages pop up, I could probably chat to him in real time on the podcast. So yeah,
cool.
It's up.
I like that. Yeah.
So well, let's get into the nitty gritty of this. First things first. If you haven't seen it, go and see it. Come back to us, and otherwise we're going to spoil it. It's available on Tubi, and Bernie did say that he gets an income from Tubi for it being on there as well. So if you want to support independent New Zealand theatre cinema, watch it on Tubi. He gets paid for it.
That's great. We'll post that up. Yeah. Follow us at Evil Popcorn Pod, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll post up the Tubi link if one can do such a thing. Yeah. But we all know what Tubi is. Yeah. Just TUBI. It's free. Just a few ads. It's nothing. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. So, well, this is Killer Sofa. As we said previously, it was going to be called My Love and My Lazy Boy. It came out in 2019. The director and writer is Bernie Rao. I'm presuming I'm pronouncing that correctly. It could be Bernie Rao. I haven't asked. The only reason I pronounce it Rao is because that's also the spelling and pronunciation of the god of the Kryptonians, which I pointed out and he wasn't aware.
It's not common knowledge. What?
Not common knowledge, no. So he's also got another product called the Bald Lands, which it looks pretty interesting. I'm going to have a look at that over the weekend.
What do you mean product?
Like a production.
Production. Okay.
Yeah, called the Bald Lands. So I did ask about the budget and box office. Let me just get to that note. So it made its budget back, but didn't really turn a profit. The budget listed online is about $80,000.
Okay.
Bernie was saying about $20,000. It made about $500,000 worldwide via sales agents and distributors, but he got a terrible deal. He got screwed on his deal and none of it came back. It sold to about 40 territories when it came out, and the sales agents sold it for cheap, not believing the film could travel. Went a bit viral. By then it was too late to redraw the deals that he'd made, and the film was pirated immensely everywhere very quickly, apparently. But yeah, he gets some money back on Tubi, and has made the list of most watched films a few times, but none of it really goes back. Not a lot of it goes back to Bernie. So yeah, unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. Sorry to hear that.
One of the things that he said was that if he was looking at doing a sequel, he's learned a lot about the deal making since, and he would fix up some of those errors with any sort of sequel.
Kickstarter, Terrified did it.
Well, he actually mentioned Kickstarter. He said he did have an Indian studio interested, but it fell through, and he's preparing a crowdfunding campaign, hoping to get enough to get somebody shot.
Do it yourself, I reckon. Yeah, do it that way. You obviously have the ingenuity.
Yeah.
You pulled off this movie. Yeah, we'll go into it, but yeah.
More expensive film.
It does. Yeah, that's the crazy thing. That is the crazy thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, with this guy with money behind him, I'd be very curious. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, be very curious. Not to give anything away yet, but yeah, I'd be very curious.
Yeah. So look,
But
it's got a three.
and after you, sorry, my bad.
I was just going to say, I just got the ratings. It's got a 3.7 star on IMDb. It's got a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's got 2 stars on Letterboxd. I think it probably deserves better, just because I don't think people got it. I think people watched it.
That's what I
expecting
want to
something different
discuss.
from what they got.
That's the main gist thrust of what I want to discuss. Yeah. What did you think in general, though, before we send the children to bed for spoilers?
I've now watched it 4 times.
Brilliant. Brilliant. It's your type of movie?
I really enjoy it. I can feel the indie nature of it through the screen. It looks more expensive than what it is. I like the world that they built.
Mm-hmm.
I like the practicality of the creature. It was really nice. And the puppetry and clowning work that they did with the cat throughout the film was really good. It's like the V for Vendetta, where people keep saying, oh no, he wore 73 different masks with slightly different expressions, which he didn't. He wore one mask. It was all down to the performance. He made the mask look like it was doing different things. They did the same thing with this sofa. The way it was positioned, like you could kind of see the mouth, the reflection in the eyes, the way that it was still or it moved slightly. Like the work that they did with the creature in this was top notch.
I'll just see if I can bring up a picture of what we're talking about. Yeah, that's very expressive.
Anyone that's watching or listening, the picture of the sofa behind me never actually sprouts teeth like that.
No, that's marketing.
Poetic like
Yeah, for marketing.
Me.
Okay, there we go. So yes, he's been moved. Yes, he's been moved here. He's reacting to something. That's his mouth, his eyes there. Yeah. If you wanted to look at it more, hurry up into now.
I love the way the eyes.
So see, there's the more. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll just make that short and sweet. Yeah, I'll see if I can find better ones as we go along.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's interesting. This movie. It's not what I expected. It wasn't part, but then again, entirely not. The production values I wasn't expecting.
Sure.
I think, to put it simply for now, I think the one problem that I have with it, because it kept me watching, yes, I was engaged by a movie called Killer Sofa. That's fine. With Watch Slaughterhouse, that sort of thing, I've become accustomed to starting to enjoy. The thing with this movie is it didn't quite really know what it was, though.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Because the production values are high, certainly in the photography sense, the lighting sense, yeah? A lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of detail has been put into those factors, creating, I don't know, verging on wanting to be like a neo-noir type film.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah, and that sense. But then you have Killer Sofa, yeah? You have practical effects of a killer sofa reacting to situations, moving at times. I won't spoil too much, don't worry. This tries to be funny and it falls flat on the funny, yeah? It's trying to be this goofy B-grade movie about a killer sofa, but then there's all these creative impulses to making it wanting to look beautiful, like a beautiful neo-noir. It's got the magenta and the cold blue, yeah, which we see in cinema and TV constantly all the time, you know what I mean? Yeah, he wants, so there's this push and pull about what film he's trying to make. That's my only real critique. Otherwise, yeah, it's a fun watch, definitely. If you wanted to watch this with friends, definitely, having a bit of whatever, yeah,
it'd be a
absolutely. Fun party movie. You could throw this on a projector in the background, definitely.
Yeah.
Or sit down and watch.
He did say that he was inspired by the film Rubber. Are you aware of the film Rubber?
I'm aware of it. I haven't sat down to watch it yet.
So
I'll get there.
For those people who haven't, it is a film about a tire that kills people. It's off the hook. And I can see where the inspiration for that fits in this film as well. Directed and written by Bernie. So the cast, the biggest name in the cast is Jed Brophy, who's playing Detective or Inspector Gravy in the Wellington Police. He's from District 9. He's from The Hobbit. Brain Dead as well.
Okay.
Which is a Sir Peter Jackson film, one of his first films.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah. Dead Alive, Americans. That's Dead Alive. That's its
Dead
original.
Alive, yeah. Fun enough, at the time, it won the award for the most blood used in a film.
Yeah, definitely. Well, now's a good time to ask the question: what's your history with New Zealand cinema in general, New Zealand films?
Well, it's a lot of it's Peter Jackson.
Okay.
Peter Jackson stuff. But I was going to say, and The Frighteners, but he did The Frighteners. There's
Have you
a
seen
wonderful
Bad Taste, Feebles, and yeah,
Meet the Feebles, Brain Dead or Dead Alive.
Yeah.
Frighteners, the Lord of the Rings films. Like back in the day
Heavenly
when
Creatures? Heavenly Creatures?
yes, Heavenly Creatures.
What's
Jojo
that one?
Rabbit.
Lovely Bones. I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's all right.
Who-
I think like Aotearoa is trying a little bit hard in it, but it's a very pretty film.
Yeah. So, okay, mainly Peter Jackson then, yeah?
Yeah,
Have you
but, I
seen
mean-
Once a Warriors, the piano,
Yes.
the iconic numbers? Okay.
Yeah. Back in the day when I was a kid, Australian TV used to play some New Zealand kids shows on the ABC, and two in particular were Under the Mountain and The Nugget and the
Okay.
Star.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that.
So yeah,
Okay, cool.
so much so that when I went to Auckland, I had to climb to the top of the volcano that was in Under the Mountain and throw a stone in, just like the kids did at the end of that show.
Mhm.
So yeah,
That's cool. I know. So
was kind of
talking
fun.
about yeah. New Zealand is a strange one. Its film industry has had more problems than Australia over the years. Didn't people didn't even know it existed until the piano, and that's mid-90s, and that's that's late, definitely.
Yeah.
And as I don't know if it was off air, whatever, radio, that they don't do a lot of horror, but they do dark drama, intense drama really well.
Yeah.
And we lean more into the horror because I don't know, the landscape leads to it more. I think that's just my theory. Yeah.
I mean, there's a film I'll be looking at doing in the future, which is Black Sheep, which is the zombie sheep movie, which I really enjoy.
I want to do Heavenly Creatures, I think.
Yeah. Oh, by all means.
Yeah, because that's my hometown. I think I've said before. It is shot in my university. That's, the rich home. Yeah. Rich
Sure.
daughter's home where the deed, happens. It's a true crime case. Spoilers, whatever. The deed happens. I walked there many times, used to hang out there with a drink there, etc., etc. So yeah, I think that stands up as horror. Definitely. Yeah, cool. But all right. Just curious. Yeah. Okay. Because there's not many Kiwi horrors, but so we'll pretty much go through the greats, I foresee. Yeah. Yeah.
Top 5 is the 5 they made.
Yes. All right. But back to you, Baron. Thank you.
Oh, that's a good. And of course, recently the TV series Dark City: The Cleaner, which is filmed in and around Christchurch. What We Do in the Shadows comes from New Zealand.
Any Kiwi friends of mine listening? What's Neon New Zealand like? That's the name of this streaming service. What's Neon like as a streaming service?
Yeah, right to us.
Yeah, when I was searching for Dark City, came across it.
Okay. So look, we've got Jed Brophy is the only real big name in the film. He plays the Inspector Bob Gravy. Natalie Morris, who plays Maxie. I really enjoyed Maxie's performance. She was also in Black Christmas, the remake
Maxie's
of the
cool.
2021.
Okay. I think I've seen her before in other stuff. Yeah.
But so just very quickly, we've got Jordan Rivers, who plays TJ, who's Francesca's potentially gay boyfriend. We've got Kimio Mai, probably massacring that name, as Francesca. Harley Neville as Federico. James Cain as Ralph, who I felt like should get the MVP for being the creepiest motherfucker ever.
Yeah, he's up.
Then we've got Trey Tiwiki as Mari Sinclair, which is the granddad's girlfriend. And we've got Hamish Boyle as Arthur, who's only got a bit part, but you see him at the start and then towards the end. The rest are kind of...
Who was granddad again, please?
Part. Granddad, I believe...
He should be listed, surely. There's a prominent part.
I couldn't see him.
There's pretty much nil to zero Jewish community culture in New Zealand.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I apologize.
He's playing
a
rabbi.
Yeah, certainly
He's
not.
not mentioned. He's not mentioned in the cast.
Oh, okay. On Wikipedia or
Yeah,
IMDb?
Yeah, that's what I'm on. I'm on IMDb.
Yeah.
You just go
What about Wiki?
I mean, we've got Rick Sahar listed as dad. Maybe that's what they mean.
It's looking now.
I don't think he's mentioned by name in the film either.
Yeah, Wiki's really doesn't.
Unless
have
I've got it around
the
in one
cast.
way, it's Hamish Boyle, whose name is maybe it's Arthur, but it's not a particularly Jewish name, especially for someone that's a rabbi.
Just looking on IMDb. Yeah, okay. Granddad was cool though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, he was great. So I'm not sure which of these people he is because he's not mentioned by name in the film.
Yeah. It's a shame though. He's not properly credited. edited or shown.
Well, maybe he
Anyways.
is. I'm just missing it. But yeah. So yes, no doubt, Bernie will get in contact with me because I'll send him the link. Get him to do erectile dysfunction on me.
Yes.
So for those people that aren't aware, we haven't done it for a while because we haven't had it. But if you do spot anything in the episodes that we get wrong, send us a message and we'll do a correctile dysfunction in the next episode.
Absolutely.
So yes, there's not a lot.
Bernie included.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Feel free. Yeah. Cool. Okay.
Happy to be. So yeah. So look, not a lot of horror links in the cast. Not a lot of big names in the cast, which is great. It meant that you're not distracted by that thing where, oh, I know that guy, he's from that thing. So it gives the actors a permission to form rather than be themselves.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. What type of horror is this? If you're going to genreify it, sub-genreify it.
I want it to be a creature feature.
I want it to be a slasher, but it's neat.
But even then it's not. It wants to be it's a supernatural slasher.
A supernatural slasher. Because there are slasher elements, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when it's chasing people. Yeah. Through the door shut, that sort of thing. The
springs up on the thing.
The fucking springs. Wow.
Yeah.
That's where shit gets.
Yeah.
Go to bed if you're having children. Go to bed.
Yeah, do the thing. So just a little bit of trivia. The recliner that they had in the film, they only had one of.
Yeah.
It cost them $100.
Okay.
So, so they feared being sued by the Lazy Boy Furniture Company, so they didn't go with the Lazy Boy title.
Yeah. Because if you didn't know, Baron, in the 80s, Lazy Boy was huge. That was up there with Dove soap as iconic branding. Yeah. So it's not surprised. That's a shame, though, because I think it's on Wiki that Bernie is quoted saying he couldn't throw it out a window, get it run over by a truck, etc.
Yeah, he wanted someone to land on someone.
That would have been great. Yeah, because you get the shot of it falling down from above the eyes.
Yeah. It was possibly going to be called The Furnishing.
Not bad.
The Furnishing, but I think Killer Sofa rolls off the tongue a bit better.
And The Furnishing, you need more Manchester.
Yeah.
You need more.
Both pillows.
Yeah.
And they were going to do a scene where it vomited blood, but they didn't want to stain the suede.
When I say it's not funny, don't think I didn't laugh, because I definitely did laugh. Yeah. With the sofa itself. Yeah, absolutely. Like real holding this part and just going, gosh.
Yeah. The one review that I found that I liked that seemed to be more than just people being idiots. Autistic chair pines after gorgeous and charming woman. I really like that review.
Yeah, because there's a time travels.
Yeah.
And it's that.
When Granddad gets in contact with the Dybbuk, he goes back in time to see what happened in the pre-time.
Yeah, and yes, it's a Dybbuk.
Yeah, filmed up in the forest on Mount Vic.
Is it Persian? Is it Hebraic?
Abrahamic.
Sorry.
Yeah, Abrahamic. So it's Hebrew.
It's Abrahamic. Yeah.
Creature. So I have that in the Baron's cryptopsychology corner.
You do good. Let's save that because I have a wee anecdote about Dybbuk boxes. Yeah.
Cool. I have that. Well, let's get into the plot. So once again, children, we're about to spoil the absolute ever living fuck out of this. So
we've meandered and vamped enough for you.
Yeah. Go and watch it, or don't add us about spoilers. All right. So we cold open on what looks a bit like a seance. There's a girl's photo covered in blood, and then we are immediately assaulted with Federico getting his foot cut off with carving knife, or reciprocating saw or something. And there we get the first cut across to the couch behind where the surgery is occurring.
Yeah. Yes, it's called Killer Sofa. It's a horror. You're in it straight away. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No,
I liked it.
No ifs, no buts, no maybes.
Yeah, I liked it.
So then we've got a cut to the dance scene or the rehearsal or the band practice or whatever it is, the Black Box Theatre in Bat. We are introduced to Maxi, Francesca. Oh, sorry, roll it back. Don't need to edit. My bad.
You're good.
We go to the storage locker first. So Maxi, Francesca, and Suzanne open a storage locker. There's a whole bunch of freaky shit in there, and they go through, and there's like skulls and candles and all sorts of stuff. And then they get to the couch, and it's chained to a wall.
Yeah.
With a note on it that says "Deliver to Francesca." Yeah. Then we cut to the dance scene in the Bat Theatre.
Yeah, but it's very David Lynch. The red lighting, hypnotized style of dance. Yeah, the red dress. And then the band itself was very reminiscent of a band that would be in Twin Peaks, and creepy guy.
Yeah.
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 I didn't realize until he was reintroduced, and oh, that's right. He was watching her in the.
Yeah.
But no, I just remembered the bed scene with him, and he is well creepy.
Yeah.
Because that was well fucked.
We'll get to that.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
So that's on the Bats in the Bats Theatre. That's a stage I've performed on. We did the show Space Patrol there, which was lots of fun. The cops come in like we're right deep. It's almost like we're halfway into the film at this point by the story. So it's basically the cops arrive. There's no fucking about.
The cops are funny. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was just going to say we're introduced to Bob Gravy and Roseanne, who's his partner, and they immediately Francesca and Maxie. Roseanne, great. Gravy and great. Yes. So they tell him that Frederico's dead and that his dog was found playing with one of his feet.
Yes.
So it's a bit of it's almost an ad hoc interrogation scene, kind of. They're providing information, but they're also asking questions. I liked the partner. She was nicely understated.
Grape,
yes.
Yeah. Grape was good because but good eyes. There's a lot going on behind the eyes. Yeah. Because I was basically watching her. I was watching her for each scene that she was in. I was pretty much purely focused on her. Yeah.
So Gravy's asking the questions that she's observing, which is where they get their information from. Basically, it's really well done.
Was the negative space, the crushed blacks too much? Very low angle, very noir.
I think for the purposes of the dance scene, it worked really well.
Yeah,
because it gave it drew your focus.
And spaces do start to get echoed as reality starts getting a bit haywire. Yeah.
So you'll notice though that when they start doing this sort of semi-interrogation scene, they flip the camera so you can see the seats behind them rather than the black wall of the black box.
Yeah, true. And it is the space they're working in. So it's good. It's good.
So it's now at this point, Maxie's doing the sort of exposition dump about Francesca, which is where Francesca makes a habit of attract weirdos and they get obsessed with her.
But at this stage, she's pretty enough, the actor herself.
Yeah.
I assume that you just think, okay, well, that's just guys. And because because Gravy is getting a bit kind of, yes, okay, whatever you say at this stage. And then Grape gives him the look, the side glance and the side eye. Yeah.
So it cuts away from that to the chair being delivered to Francesca's house and it tastes blood.
Oh, is that what happens before we get down to business?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. I missed that bit because I was going, why are they... So I know I'm jumping ahead a little, so I won't say it yet. Yeah, go ahead.
But so when they're delivering it, the delivery girl, Suzanne, I believe her name is, gets her hand caught in the workings. It's a really nice little bit of makeup work on the busted knuckles I really like.
Yeah, it was good. That looked like it hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked real.
And we've all lifted furniture, heavy furniture. We've all been worried about that sort of thing happening on a door frame. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So now we start to get into the supernatural part of this as well, where Granddad touches the couch on the back of the trailer and he has that vision in the forest of the woman running through the forest and there's someone chasing her with a bill hook, and then it cuts away from that and he's having CPR performed on him. Not particularly well, but...
No. No. We're staying alive, yeah?
Yeah. So there's a lot of short, sharp time jumps at the start of the film. So we get to the next time jump where she and Francesca and Maxie arrive and they have the conversation about her having terrible taste in men, and Maxie seems to think TJ, her current boyfriend, in inverted commas, is gay. Francesca goes inside to the house and we see what is, I'm guessing, supposed to be her walking through the house naked after having a shower, and then it cuts to TJ manfully dragging the couch up the stairs into the apartment on the second level with no help from her.
No.
Then we get a little bit of exposition about Frederico, the dead guy, and a really nice view over Wellington out the window. There's a nice shot of that sort of view of the bay and the city in the distance, which is really nice.
Yes, that was my view. That was the view I had. Yeah. So watching that was quite nostalgic, definitely.
Good. I'm glad we could do that for you.
Yeah. Thank you, Bernie.
Yes, thank you, Bernie. It was a really nice location. That's the other thing about this film as well. Limited locations probably meant that it was cheaper to film. Yeah, I really enjoyed that because it gave you that feeling of familiarity. You knew where you were. When you were at the granddad's house, you knew where you were. When you were at Francesca's house, you knew where you were. The only location that felt off to me was the motel later in the film. It felt maybe just like someone else's apartment rather than an actual motel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I agree with that observation.
We then cut to Maxie's place with Grandad, who is a rabbi. We know that because he's got a coffee cup that says rabbi on it.
And his whole gimmick.
His whole demeanor.
His whole demeanor. He's like a Jewish rabbi who's a really big fan of the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd, whatever you like, you know what I mean? Yeah, he was a flower power child back in the 60s because he's like late 60s. His character, he's been posited. Yeah. And he's got himself, a Nubian princess as a girlfriend. Yes, as about a 40-year-old gorgeous black woman. Yeah, he's a dude. He's the dude of the film. Yeah.
Would we say he's the MVP?
I don't know yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So he has already done research now. He's got stuff printed out and everything. He's identified the chair as harboring a Dybbuk.
A Dybbuk, yes. I'm just going to bring that up right now. This is just a classical representation. So a Dybbuk is basically a Jewish spirit that possesses someone's soul until exercise. So that's the spirit weighing, the person down. Yeah. And we'll get to Dybbuk boxes later.
Yeah.
But this is classical demonology for the Jewish faith. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So he discovers he must have the gift like his father did. We cut back to Francesca's.
Before that, I really was confused, but we find out why later on. Really liked his reaction to finding out that he's got the gift.
Oh, yeah,
like he's tasted some really bad liver. Something like disgusted at the prospect, very stressed. Yeah. Keep going.
So we go back to Francesca's where she's having another shower, and she is startled by Maxie, who's wearing a Killer Clowns from Outer Space mask.
It was too. Nice.
So Maxie has turned up for their movie night. Movie night for Francesca and Maxie is sitting on chairs and watching a laptop, which is sat in the lap of the sofa.
Yeah. Do you know what they were watching?
I couldn't work out what it was.
Okay. No, neither did I.
Bernie, if you want to tell us what it was, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I couldn't work out what it was. And I don't think I saw anything in the credits. Maybe I should go back and watch the credits. But yeah. So they're watching an old black and white movie on the laptop. Maxie reveals that the family store may have to close, and Francesca does that. You should concentrate on your music anyway, which is probably where your passion lies.
Yeah. Francesca, not ridiculously so, but you could imagine her. She's at the club with the handbag and the heels. Maxie's a heavy metal.
Yeah.
She's a heavy metaler. Yeah, definitely. She's a muso. Yeah.
Well, she's the one with the nose ring. So yeah.
Yeah. And the guitar.
And the guitar.
Yeah.
So their movie night is over. Maxie goes home. We now cut to Francesca really enjoying the recliner.
What did you think of this scene, Baron?
I thought it was good. It felt like a left turn until you realize that it's her having a dream.
I didn't pick that up. I won't be crass. There's a sex scene between Francesca and the sofa. It's no clothes are taken off, but extremely tactile, extremely sensual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's erotic.
Did you laugh or?
I was disturbed initially, and then I laughed.
Yeah.
Especially with the hand coming down to the recliner handle, and then gripping on the arm. Yeah, it was really nicely shot erotica.
Yeah, it was. That's the thing. It was beautifully shot, like music video commercial.
Really good. The lighting stayed beautiful, and it wasn't done sharply. Like it was a nice transition. But then she wakes up in bed, and it was obviously a dream. We cut to Grandad. He's doing some more research on the Dybbuk. He's revealed that you need to be a healthy person to fight the Dybbuk, otherwise you could die or be permanently disabled. So obviously, he being an elderly gentleman with heart problems, he probably shouldn't be the one to try and fight the Dybbuk.
Yeah.
So then we get to the morning, and Francesca wakes up again. She does a lot of things twice, like shower, sleep, wake. But she wakes up, and there are lit candles leading to the chair and snacks on the arms of the chair, and she thinks TJ did it. So she's all, "Oh, that's so romantic, TJ." But then TJ is very obviously getting home right then. He's obviously just walked through the door, but he takes the laudations for the snack.
Nice word. Yeah, and a very I did that. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it was me. Can I pass out now?
Yeah, he takes a cookie and then he eats it, and he goes to get another one, but where his hand went, the sofa's no longer there. Yeah. And we don't see it move yet, but it has obviously moved, thereby marking TJ almost immediately for death.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, absolutely. What's it? We need a name for the sofa.
Dibby.
Okay. Yeah, like it.
The Dybbuk.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Frederico.
That's Debbie's woman.
Frederico.
Well, it is, yes. Let's call it Freddy then. Call it Freddy.
Freddy the sofa.
Yeah.
So yes. All right, so now we cut to another time jump. It's nighttime at the Wellington Police Headquarters. Inspector Gravy is looking at the case. He is drinking alcohol out of a cabinet drawer, looking at his kids' artwork. So quite quickly, we get no, that's later. So yeah, he discovers Federico was into voodoo. Francesca has multiple AVOs against multiple men and moves a lot. Seems to think that her and Federico were just friends. She has that effect on men, although TJ is immune. Back at he has a conversation with her. This is where he has a conversation with her where that's all revealed. Back at Francesca's, TJ is making an oven pizza, and this is where we see the chair actually moving. Like the chair begins to move, and it attacks TJ, pushing him into the door of the oven and stabbing him with springs and all sorts of things. He gets attacked. He calls Francesca for help. Thankfully, she's already at the police station, so she brings the police back with her. They arrive to a house full of smoke. TJ is in the bathtub, and he has tourniqueted his own leg. So obviously he was bleeding quite heavily from the attack from the sofa and has tied a tourniquet on his leg. So Inspector Gravy turns off the oven and tries to wave away some of the smoke, and the sofa is sitting back in its normal position, not doing anything. Did you like the attack scene?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that. You see, I should have been laughing more. I'm trying to figure out why I wasn't laughing more. Yeah.
I think maybe because he wasn't killed in this attack. Like he should have been killed in this attack. Well, the way I'd have done it is I'd have had him pushed into the oven by the sofa. Although the satisfactory way that PJ is taken care of later is actually kind of cool as well. So yeah,
that is true. Yeah, for a first, reveal of the sofa, of Freddy moving, it was fine. I wasn't blown away by it, but it was fine. Yeah. Yourself?
I liked it as an initial attack.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But later in the film, the sofa is much more effective. I think maybe it's playing with him at that point.
Yeah. But again, for $100 recliner, they only had one on how much? What was the budget that you said for this? Like 8,000 or 80?
Bernie said the budget was around $20,000.
Yeah.
IMDb and Wikipedia call it as 85. So yeah, I think Bernie probably know better than Wikipedia, but yeah.
So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work with that sort of budget to basically have no humans being seen to make that sofa move and animate it. And so as an initial attack, it was fine. It was good. Yeah.
So then we cut to Granddad, who's calling his dad, who doesn't believe he has the gift.
This imposter syndrome, no support from dad throughout the movie. We don't see him. We see framed photo of him.
So then we're back to Francesca. She's on a Zoom call with Maxie. They reveal TJ is at his mum's place, which is just down the street. That's convenient. And because TJ thinks the chair is haunted, we then cut to TJ at his mum's place. This is where we see the sofa using the spring to climb up into the window, like it's an arm or a hand. It climbs in the window and crushes TJ's head.
Yeah.
There's a nice jump cut there between the crushing of the head and the little ceremony that Granddad and the girlfriend are doing.
Did you want to see Freddy fly?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I understand why it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah. When we're actually, that's the thing. It was all held back by limitations, definitely, because I get the feeling they would have gone there if they could. Yeah. And so actually the more stylistic approach is beginning to make more sense. Yeah.
Now then we get to Granddad has another vision. So this is, once again, it's the forest up on Mount Vic where they shot some of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So the girl is being chased by the billhook, with the guy with the billhook machete. She then kills herself, and it's revealed that she was a poisoner. And the quote, "Whoever has that recliner is in great danger."
Did you like the look of the time jumps? Because we've had time jumps so far, haven't we?
Yeah. There's been a lot of them.
Yeah. There's been a lot of them.
Never more than a day.
Because it's general medieval Dark Ages look is what he's going for. Yeah.
It's a bit steampunk. It's a bit Ren Fair.
Yeah, like Fear Street through Part 3. There, young'uns. It looks like Fear Street Part 3. Yeah. He got the look well. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, he did get the look really well, actually. Yeah, this movie goes a lot of places. It goes a lot of places. Yeah, it really does, doesn't it? I just vamped for a little. I must attend to something quickly.
You're right. It's okay. All good. I'm just going to show a copy. Oh, hello, Poppy. A little bit of puppeting. No, yeah. So go and see Killer Sofa. Find Killer Sofa and get it. I quite enjoyed it. I liked the way they stuck to the Dybbuk myth. They didn't bring anything new in with the Dybbuk myth, and didn't get muddied with that. Like they didn't bring anything in from the outside that made it. Oh, this we're just making this Dybbuk our thing. It was really nice to have a whole cloth creature there, which was nice. Wait, what he's called? Send out. I'm locked in the yeah. So yeah, the Dybbuk was really nice. The fact they didn't take anything or add anything to the Dybbuk myth from outside, like it was a whole cloth creature.
No, yeah. I'm not an ex. Oh, no, we're not up to there yet. I'll save it.
Save it for the Dybbuk pod.
Yeah.
So Francesca wakes up. She's in the chair. There's a pair of panties on the floor, and she hears a noise and sees a figure in the and heads towards the bathroom. Bathroom window is open, and then she wakes up in bed
Again.
So yeah. But once again, she hears another noise. She grabs the torch out of the bedside table. She goes looking to see what it was. She actually sees the chair move this time, and she calls Maxie to come pick her up. Strangely, they go back into the house because she's waiting out the front. They go back into the house to have a look around, and then they leave. And as they leave, the chair is on the balcony, kind of in the upright position.
Yeah, that was hilarious. That made me laugh. Yeah.
I really laughed at that. That was lots of fun.
Moonlight glinting on his button eyes. Yeah.
So then we get to the next morning. We go to TJ's mum's place. She's vacuuming in the hallway. She knocks on the door. I really need to clean inside there. And then the vacuum cleaner through the door sucks up a bunch of TJ's smashed brain.
It does. Yeah, it's quite gory.
Yeah. So
Quite like
then
that moment.
it was nice, and like it was a nice show, don't tell, don't overshow moment where we don't see the whole thing.
No,
we can just
but you get all of the implication.
Effect.
Yeah. And the effect.
So we're back to Francesca's. She is now leaving again, and she's bailed up by Creepy Ralph. Creepy Ralph is at her front door. He knows that he reveals to her that TJ is dead, and his immediate thing is to put his hand up and point to his ring finger as if to say, "Hey, let's get married, babe. Your boyfriend's dead." Super creepy. Really bad timing. Yeah.
No emotion shown with basically bargaining a business deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of handling objections like you would on the phone, basically.
Yeah. I bet he's a real estate agent.
Something like that. Yes. And he's about 7 feet tall. He's got coiffed hair and a pink blazer.
Yeah.
And pleated pants. Yes. Very Michael Mann, Miami Vice. Yeah, that paints a picture. Yeah.
Loafers with short socks or no socks.
That's right. So,
yeah. So she leaves.
And he gets worse. And he gets far worse. Yeah.
So much worse.
Yeah.
So she leaves. He then breaks in like he's done it a million times before. And from what happens, obviously that is what has occurred. He breaks in. He changes a battery in a smoke detector that's obviously got a camera in it. He checks on the router, which has obviously got a camera in it, just to make sure that he can get all the footage. Or maybe
he leaves the router.
That it put it in the right position or something.
Yeah, he leaves it on the table.
Yeah.
Where blatantly wasn't before. The table's clear. Yeah. He doesn't care about getting caught. There's ego. He's a psychopath. Yeah,
proper psychopath. And then he grabs her hat and her bra and he goes to her bed.
He makes a face out of...
Oh, that's right. He makes a face out of the
smiley face. Yeah. The eyes for the bra.
Yeah, bra is the eyes and the top
demented.
of the hat.
It's demented.
But from a filmmaking perspective, it is genius.
Oh, it is. Yeah. It costs nothing to portray a complete psychopath. Like shoot him, put him down like a rabid dog psychopath. Yeah. But please, depict the moment.
So what I wrote here was Ralph climbs in the bed. Oh, sorry. So he's going through her stuff. He sets up the face. He hears a noise, ignores it. He pulls open the covers where the face is. He climbs into the bed and covers himself with the blanket. And then there are certain movements that, what did I write here? He starts fucking her hat.
Yes. Whilst grunting her name.
Yes.
Grunting.
I feel for this actor because that's a terrible role to have, but it is a wonderful role to have.
Yeah.
And then the sofa kills him with an iron.
I wanted to see blood on the iron there, Bernie.
Same here.
When it dropped back down. Yeah.
But remember, he was under the blanket.
He was under the blanket. Yes, all right. Still.
Yeah. So yeah.
But you rooted for Freddy with that one.
Yeah. Because I mean this is a good kill. Like this he's done the world a solid by killing this guy.
Yes.
Now, meanwhile, Francesca is down at the police station again. They're looking at her exes for the killer, and Ralph is the prime suspect. They've also got a second set of DNA at the site, which is the guy that chopped off Federico's feet.
Okay.
So now we discover that the inspector's wife and kids have left him, and this is the point at which his grape offers to help him blow off steam.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Obviously, code for let's go somewhere and have some sex, which is fine. I have no problem with that.
Well, she does because he's not interested in her, but she's in love, low key, in love with him. Yeah.
But I kind of get the feeling that now that Francesca's in the picture, he's feeling that draw to her.
Oh, big
whereas
time.
they might have been a thing.
Yeah, potentially so. But yes, he's definitely feeling the draw. Isn't he doing, are we up to the workout scene yet?
Oh, no, not quite.
Okay.
So we now get Grandad reveals to Maxie that the chair is possessed, and she takes it in stride like that. It's like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. That's why all this weird shit's happening. That chair is possessed.
Well, of course.
Yeah. So they go to get the chair, and she sees the chair disposing of Ralph.
Balcony, yes?
Yes, yeah, pushing him off the balcony to the bit between the two houses.
Yeah.
She makes a noise by stepping on a peg, which I laughed out loud at. So the chair then Freddie chases her. They call him Freddie. Freddie chases her. She climbs out the bathroom window and then falls into the bin. I think we're meant to think that she's dead.
Yeah. Just before that, though, when the chair is chasing, when they do go to close the door and you see it zip past, and you see its eyes and then it shuts. Yeah. They actually do manage to pull off chase scenes very effectively.
With a chair.
With a chair. Yeah. As crazy as it sounds. Yeah.
Actually, I should call out the puppeteer of the chair because it was really good work. And I did just see a listing for that person. So the puppeteer of the chair is an actor or performer called Will Walker. So Will Walker, he did some amazing work puppeteering in that chair.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we cut back to the motel that Maxie took Francesca to. She hears a voice and it's coming from the sink. Thankfully, the police arrive right at this very moment.
This made me laugh.
And the sink is saying Valerie, the name Valerie.
Yeah. And you get to see, you actually see the chair's mouth, the inner fold of its back. Yeah. Actually moving, animated with a very deep, like Candyman style voice, Valerie.
Really good. So now the cops take Francesca home to check on Maxie, who hasn't come back to the motel. They find her car keys and her car is out the front. They call her phone and they can hear it ringing in the bin, but it's on very low battery and the phone cuts out. The cops go to look down where the phone was ringing from and they find Ralph's body. And it's at this point Francesca turns around and can actually see the couch speaking to her with the mouth saying, Valerie. We cut back to Grandad. He's worried about Maxie, obviously with good reason, because at this point we're to assume she's dead in a bin. Then we cut to Francesca, who has driven or walked or Ubered or whatever to a cliff face overlooking the ocean where we're pretty sure she's going to throw herself off to kill herself. But it's at that point, I was going to say, Grandad calls her and then she goes back to him.
A very serious tone, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
That compels her.
We get the exposition about the backstory of Valerie and Gerard, who were witches and poisoners. So Gerard is the Dybbuk spirit inside the sofa, and later it is revealed that the person she keeps seeing walking around her house, making noise in the bathroom window, is Valerie, who's the partner of Gerard, who's the other Dybbuk. So there are actually two Dybbuks in this film, or two unhomed spirits.
Yes.
So Gerard is in the recliner, but with the research, he has to be attached to a body. What body is he attached to? And this is where Francesca and Grandad come up with the plan about the Dybbuk boxes.
The Dybbuk boxes, and I'll just bring it up here. I've got it on the screen ready. How's that one? Can you see that one all right?
I can indeed, yes.
Yeah, so these things, Baron, I was working, what is it called? Transcription for the deaf. Basically, you're listening to a phone conversation, you're writing down what is said very quickly, and that comes out as text on a deaf person's screen. One call I got very early morning, one woman was shouting about a Dybbuk box in her house that was sent to her and it was opened and crazy stuff was happening and she didn't know what to do, and maybe of a Jewish faith, the person that she was calling would have some information, and because she was saying, you know about all this crazy shit, tell me what to do. And I had just seen my first horror movie about Dybbuks and Dybbuk boxes about 2 days days prior.
Oh.
Yeah. So I was just like, what is happening? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are these things actually real? Yeah. Yeah. So that is a Dybbuk box. And basically that is a containment. You'll have prayers in there, certain objects, resonant, relevant objects, etc. And for whatever reason that I do not know, because I'm not of faith, I haven't studied such things, but it keeps Dybbuks in the box. They cannot get out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the form of exorcism, I guess. Yeah. The tool of exorcism. Yeah.
From what I understand, it's supposed to be vintage wood or like antique wood. It doesn't have to be beautifully made, but it does have to be made well.
Okay. So with the wood that grandpa chooses, he knows how to construct it good enough given the time and pressures they have on them. Yeah.
So no doubt the box that it creates, which doesn't look great, like it doesn't look like a super cool prop, it was no doubt made from the right stuff from his antique shop.
Okay, cool. But yeah, children, that's another element. That's another element to this film. You have this whole time travel, supernatural, demonic exorcism going on of Freddy the Killer Sofa.
Yeah.
Should
we start calling him Jerry now because it's Gerard?
Yeah, sure. We can call him Jerry, his true name.
But it's also Freddy and Jerry. Yeah. So the plan is build the boxes, catch the Dybbuk, burn the boxes.
Yes. And I love the little illustrative way of showing the plan on the screen.
Yeah,
it was all done. Yeah, that was cool.
So now we're at the exercise scene. So we cut back to Inspector Gravy. He's in a sleeveless shirt. He's got a laptop open in front of him, and he's doing push-ups.
Yeah, and what's on the laptop?
Is the picture of
But just with the black negative space behind her, wearing the red dress, just sitting there, looking like she's in a human trafficking video, and he's there with his two big weights, and he's just doing push-ups, just staring, coming down his face really close. Yeah. So, okay.
But then we cut to a partner scene to this with his partner who has a similar thing where she's not exercising, but she's got a picture of him in a similar sort of setup.
I guess it's commentating on over infatuation, obsession, that sort of thing. Yes. Yeah. This movie.
So now we're talking about the Dybbuk ritual. They start the part of the ritual. The granddad has a heart attack or is having a heart attack. She, Francesca, mistakes what he wants, takes the Dybbuk box and heads to the sofa, whereas granddad just wants the aspirin that's sitting on the table next to the Dybbuk.
It's funny. Yeah. Because even his girlfriend comes in and she's on the phone and he's in the background still trying to reach for the pills.
Yeah. So now we cut back to the police. Inspector Gravy is interviewing Arthur, who is the guy that cut off Federico's feet. He reveals that he left Federico alive, but less his feet. And then we are at Ralph's apartment. He was stalking Francesca. We see the telescope. Grape discovers the videos on the laptop, and they spot the chair moving on the video.
Yeah.
So the chair's not doing a great job of hiding.
No.
We cut back to Francesca's place. She's trying to get the Dybbuk into the Dybbuk box out of the chair, but she's not doing any of the ritual stuff. She just pushes the chair and goes, get in the box, get in the box.
Please.
Don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. She's got a big container of petrol. She pours petrol on the sofa. She gets petrol on a cell. She goes to light the petrol.
I'm surprised she didn't go up herself. Yeah. But anyway.
The sofa keeps blowing the matches out. I thought that was a really nice moment.
Yeah.
Where she lights a match and you see the lips purse on the couch and it blows the matches out. That was really nice. So then the sofa does the standing up thing where it becomes more sort of human-ish shaped. And it starts to walk towards her. She's got a knife. She gets a knife from the kitchen, which she doesn't get to use because that's when Gravy shows up and shoots the couch.
Yeah.
And then it is like the couch gets damaged and the top part sort of here falls forward. And you then see Federico's body and he's missing his face, like his face was sewn to the inside of the couch or something.
It's a wild moment. It
really is.
Yeah.
And that's where the movie ends. Nothing else happens.
That's it.
They could have ended it here. Could happily have ended it here, but they don't. They do some more stuff on it that I really like. But yeah, it could easily have been roll credits at this point. Francisco runs into the bathroom. She goes to take some of her medication she's been taking for years. All of the pills spill. And it's at this point when she's scrambling for the pills that the Valerie Dybbuk grabs her leg from inside the cupboard in the bathroom.
Yeah, no, I liked that too. That's right. Yes, I liked that too. Yeah.
So pops up.
Yes, sorry, carry on.
So Maxie now pops up out of the bin with a bit of blood on her face. She just wanders into an active shooter crime scene. She's not stopped by anyone. And she's worried about Francesca. And when she comes out of the bathroom and she looks different, the actress is doing a different performance. it is obviously not Francesca.
Yeah, totally.
Walking differently, she's holding herself differently.
She's femme fatale.
Yeah. And that's where we see the reflection of Valerie rather than Francesca.
Yeah, and she smiles evilly. Yes, Joker smile.
Yeah. Now, I don't know whether there's a time jump here or not, but it really feels like a time jump where it's her and the inspector and he's drinking the tea that's obviously got the poisoned flower in it.
Not much of a time jump. Nothing significant, I don't think.
The next day or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, obviously being poisoned, but he's enthralled by the stage and she's full femme fatale, the tight black dress, the red rose, etc., etc.
Yeah, so I put Francesca here as much more glam than usual. Like she's got lipstick on and I'm just saying it's a really nice switch. He gets a call from the coroner. Federico has been dead for weeks, not days. She's not bothered because she knows, because she's a Dybbuk in Francesca's body. So what we're guessing from this point is she's killing Gravy so Gerard can go into the inspector's body from couch because Valerie is in her body so they can be reunited.
Yeah.
So he dies and then the soul swap happens.
Okay.
They are nearly interrupted by Grape. The soul swap is nearly interrupted by Grape, but then she is stabbed by Francesca. Then Gravy, now Gerard, comes over and snaps her neck, which Maxie sees from outside through the window. She watches who she thinks is Grape and Francesca walk off. We know that they are Gerard and Valerie. Maxie goes inside. She checks on Grape and calls for emergency services, including an ambulance. So maybe Grape isn't dead, but she's been stabbed and she's
I had that thought.
That's where we see Maxie looking at the sofa and we see Francesca's spirit disappearing into the darkness of the button eyes. Roll credits. So it would be really nice to have a sequel.
Yeah. What did you say? What did you say at the start about the sequel?
So he has
independent. Yeah, independent.
Has plans and is looking at doing a Kickstarter.
Yeah. Yes, that's the way to go forward with it. I'll get it out the way first because I'll just get it out the way with rating. Yeah, because that's all that's on my mind at the moment. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't dislike the movie. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't watch it again because it didn't go far enough in a way that I wanted to. Sure. I think that's more fair thing to say that it didn't know what it was. There is a lot of things going on at once. I was expecting something more like Slaughterhouse.
Right. Okay.
But there's a lot more being shown here, but it doesn't necessarily all blend together. Yeah. In a way that a movie called Killer's Sofa should. I don't know if that's fair, but that's how I feel.
So let's break it down. So there's the ongoing people are attracted to Francesca.
Sure.
There's the granddad getting his superpowers. There's the couch being a ghost. There's the other ghost. There's the relationship between the two police. So we've kind of got 4 or 5 storylines. Oh, and then there's, the Francesca and Maxie stuff.
Oh, we've also got a neo-noir meets B-grade comedy horror meet supernatural time travel, suspense thriller meets supernatural slasher. You know what I mean? Whilst those so the sofa itself wasn't as impactful as it should be because of all of that. Yeah. For me. So I thought it was, I think you're really cool, Bernie, in terms of your style. Definitely quite ingenious what you can pull off on a small budget and make it convincing. But just for me, what I'd want to see from this to give it a higher rating would be just choose what it is. Just choose something more definitively a genre style and then put all your creativity and skill into that. Yeah. And then once you've got that down, then start to introduce the other layers and other elements. Because then that way, but I could be completely talking out of my ass though as well, because this also, when you look at his website, he has a very eclectic style. You know what I mean? And maybe I just don't get his art style either. Yeah, because you've watched this 4 times. And you like the B-grade comedy horror. Is that how it mainly came across to you? Yeah. See, I didn't feel that way. I was kind of lost, confused about what I should be identifying and what I should be recognizing. And not that I don't like genre mix-up, mash-up films.
I really like, though, that they performed straight. Like, they didn't mug to the camera. There was no telegraphing of jokes. Like, they were all well in that world. Like, it was obviously a ridiculous situation, and they played it straight. And I think they filmed it straight. And the comedy came from the ridiculousness of the situation.
Yeah, it did. So I think it's purely a matter matter of preference. Yeah. I think my rating could just be really coming down to a matter of preference, because you've justified this being just a B-grade comedy horror, which I think is its main intention. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called Killer Sofa.
Yeah.
And for this, I think I lean more towards the Slaughterhouse, where they play into it. Yeah. If I'm going to do this type of B-grade comedy horror, I think that's just more my preference. That's what I think I've realized here.
Sure.
So that said, I can't give it a 4, but because of the creativity and the production values and what you were able to pull off on a very small budget and make it convincing, I think it's definitely worth 3.5. Yeah. So I'm putting it about I think it's the 70. It's feeling more generous, 80%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it deserves more recognition and praise than it's been given.
Yeah.
But Barrett, please, up to you.
I probably set it at a 3.5 as well.
Okay.
Or a 4, go backwards and forwards. It would depend where I'm sitting on the day. Certainly super enjoyable. Actually,
I recommend it.
I'm going to sit on a 4. I'm going to sit on a 4 for this one.
Cool.
For the same reason. Like, they had the smell of an oily rag to make this. The performances were all great. I loved the sofa itself. The puppeteering work that they did, what they did with this film was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do a comparison between this and Night Swim had a huge budget and didn't pull off what they were doing. Killer Sofa didn't have a budget and pulled off what it was doing. This is a much better version of a haunted object than Night Swim gave.
And far more engaging, far more interesting, definitely.
Yeah.
And even though these aren't the best actors in the world, Kiwi has that bit of that cultural cringe factor, definitely. Better than the actors in Night Swim. Better than the actors. Look, it's still the worst movie.
I believe those actors were the people they were portraying.
Yeah.
Now I did go through a couple of odd questions with Bernie on my thing, just because I keep meaning to start this, and I will in the future. I want to do the Baron's Vox Popcorn, where I talk to people and I ask the same questions so that we can get a sort of a basis of the answer. So
okay.
So I asked Bernie what his favorite horror movie was, or his biggest inspiration for Killer Sofa. So he mentioned Rubber, which is the story about the tire, but he said his favorite horror film and he says Pure Magic is 1922's Nosferatu.
Okay, sure. Of course. Yeah.
It's a classic of the genre. So I asked him if he were a slasher in a slasher film, what would his mask be, and what would he be getting revenge for?
That's a good question. Yeah.
So he said he would wear C-3PO's mask and he would get revenge for never getting a proper Star Wars spin-off. So
he's one of them. Yeah.
I asked him, so what horror movie would you be able to survive easily, or what movie would you be killed in immediately and why? So he picked Gremlins. He said Gremlins would be fairly easy to survive. However, he would prefer to be immediately killed in I Know What You Did Last Summer, because he would sacrifice himself so he wouldn't have to hang out with those people.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah.
Fuck that movie.
And I said, given the current surgence of beloved public domain children's characters getting the horror treatment, like Winnie the Pooh, what Saturday morning cartoon character or characters would you try to make into a horror icon?
Excellent question.
And he said Disney's Goofy always scared him. No one could be that dumb and still function in society. There's got to be something weird going on there.
I like that. Yeah.
Goofy's a good character to make a slasher out of, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Goofy harkens to Ghostface.
Yeah.
Very long, lanky, clumsy. Yeah. Please make it. You're one person, I think, from what I've seen of the trailers of what they've put out there. Please make it. Yeah, I think you'd crush all of them.
Yeah.
I think you would. Popeye the Slayer Man looks atrocious.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by that, though. I think I'm going to have to see it.
Yeah. You watched or read Popeye back in the day.
Yeah.
It makes
Robin
sense.
Williams' version is amazing.
I think I watched the cartoon. Yeah, I watched the cartoon. Yeah. But let me know. Let me know what that's like.
So just a direct quote here from Bernie. I asked particularly I said, look, I really enjoyed the film. I love the indie feeling of it and the love that's obviously poured into it. So he said, we shot it as straight as possible because that's what makes it fun. It's a thin line between being too silly and too serious, but it's a different type of laugh when you're not really sure if what you're watching is supposed to be fun or not. The decision is then on the watcher. And when you decide it's all for fun, everything becomes hilarious. Or if you decide it's all supposed to be serious, you may just have a weird experience, which is valid as well. He loved shooting it and it was not easy, but it was worth the effort.
Well, his intention pretty much sums up my reaction. Because, I'm one of the lasher guys of viewers of what he was talking about there with his intention. That's hilarious. hilarious. Yeah, cool.
So yeah, it
Cool.
looks like we got the whole gamut of the experience there between the two of us. So
Yeah. So that's nice. And we came averaged out to about 3.7, 3.8. Yeah.
Yep.
So we definitely recommend this film. Yeah.
Yeah.
And support indie filmmakers who are down at the bottom of the world, because next stop is Antarctica.
Yeah.
That's also
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Zealand. That's the in your head when you live in New Zealand as well.
Yeah.
So
And
watch
yeah,
the Tubi link. Yes.
watch it on Tubi. If you
Watch
can
it on
find it on
Tubi.
DVD, buy it. But yeah, from what Bernie said, he doesn't get an awful lot of money from any of that. So yeah, boo. But what I'll do is I'm gonna keep an eye on any Kickstarters, and if I see a Kickstarter for it, I'll certainly post it on our socials.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, let's do that. And yeah, and if you want to further any communication with us there, Bernie, please feel free. Yes.
Yeah, by all
it
means.
was fun to watch your film. Definitely.
Yeah.
It was fun. Good way to start the ESL trip across the Tasman. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look,
Yes.
I've always kind of referred to once I started going to New Zealand semi regularly, I've started referring to Australia as the West Island.
You like it?
Yeah,
Did
I
you
like
see
New
yourself
Zealand.
living there? Yeah.
Yeah, the people are nice. If I did go, I'd have to go to maybe Wellington or maybe Christchurch, just because it's near Wellington. But yeah, because that's where all the people that I like in New Zealand are.
Yeah, Christchurch hometown, so I definitely get that. Pragmatically speaking, above Auckland up there, where the scenery does get amazing, that's where you get the white beaches and all of that stuff, yeah? It's warmer, warmer, but it's only a little humid. It's only a little humid in the middle of summer sort of thing, yeah? But so it's the best weather that you get. And in terms of seismic activity, next to nothing. Next to nothing, yeah? So pragmatically speaking, yeah. But there's no one there. Humans, go figure. They all go where the 5 volcanoes connect in a chain reaction. Yes, they'll go there. They'll go to Wellington, which is one of the most seismic places on planet Earth, next up there with Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the capital.
Yeah.
But Dybbuk boxes are cool. Dybbuk's are cool. I liked that.
So what was it? Oh, that reminds me. So what did I say? Okay, so just for the Baron's crypto psychology.
There we go. Yes.
So Dybbuk is from Jewish mythology. Dybbuk, from the Hebrew verb meaning to adhere or cling, is a malicious possessing spirit believed to be the dislocated soul of a dead person. It supposedly leaves the host body once it has accomplished its goal, sometimes after being exorcised. There's not a lot to add for this particular film because they did stick pretty much to the myth. There was nothing added or taken away. It was pretty much a pure Dybbuk. The other part of it, I think there was the other supernatural part, obviously with the granddad having the gift and the weird attraction that Francesca had to people. This was certainly a world with magic in it.
Yeah, absolutely. That had been forgotten for a long time and has come back in the form of a killer sofa.
Yeah.
No, definitely watch it. And you should definitely watch the film I'm going to choose next, because it is up to it's my turn next. We're going to stay in New Zealand. I've alluded to it a couple of times, I think, since we've been sitting here chatting. We discussed the director a fair bit. It's Heavenly Creatures.
Nice. Yep.
Let's
Good
do
choice.
that. Yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah. Real nostalgic, this one.
Yeah.
Real nostalgia. 30 plus years of nostalgia. Yeah. Interesting. Haven't been back for 14 years, children, just to cast some perspective.
I did see, though, the makers of Psycho Goreman have made another film called Frankie Frico, which looks pretty cool.
It's meant to be great. It's meant to be great. Yeah. Because Psycho Goreman is just a treat.
It really is.
Mimi is just a treasure.
Oh, she's so good.
Just a treasure. That film rules. Yeah. So there you go. That's B grade comedy horror.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To the nth degree. Yeah, and I love that. Yeah. But no, Bernie, I get it. Yes, that's a cool approach. Yeah. And you knew your audience, both sides. You knew both sides of your audience.
And once again, while Heavenly Creatures, our link between these two, Jed Brophy, who was Inspector Gravy, is John in Heavenly Creatures.
Okay. I will look forward to seeing his face on the rewatch.
Yeah.
Follow us at Evil Popcorn Pod. Baron, do you have anything else to say? Because we're both yawning, and I am tired, and I've got work morning. Yeah.
Look, usual shout outs of Queensland, Act React, IFWG Publishing, Evil Popcorn Podcast.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all your listening platforms.
Get in contact with us.
Apple.
If we make an error, we'll do a correct all dysfunction.
Anything you want us to see?
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to be in the show segments, suggestions?
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
Bernie, we're both actors. If you did want us in the sequel,
Yes.
I'd be happy to be in the sequel of Killer Sofa.
New Zealand's not that much of a problem to get to.
Yeah, that's good.
That's fine.
But no stress
Yeah.
otherwise.
Certainly, if you have any Kiwi horrors, any Kiwi listeners, yes, so there is one or two. I know that, yes, on my end. So and anything dark, thrillery, edgy, it's just got it, as the Baron put it once upon a time, has a shadow to it that just keeps you eating the popcorn, even though you're feeling a little bit unwell. Yes.
I did see a trailer for the Dexter prequel series that looks pretty good.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is me on Dexter. Love all of the seasons. Fine with everything. Even the end was fine. The comeback, spoilers if you haven't seen. The comeback, I thought was really good until the very end. And then I wanted to throw my laptop out the window. So, yeah, you reckon?
The trailer looks really good.
What is it, prequel? Remind me?
It's young Dexter. It's learning to be Dexter.
Okay. So digital de-aging?
New actor. Really good.
Oh.
Very good match. All of the actors are really good matches for the adult counterpart. Later counterpart.
I'll have to go to watch because, as I've just detailed, I am a Dexter fan. Yes, and I'm a Michael C. Hall fan.
He's
also,
really good. He does the voice, the internal monologue of Dexter throughout the series.
Okay, fantastic. That's cool. I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah. Do you know David Bowie at all?
Yes.
Okay, you know Black Star?
Yes.
The last album, right? You know Lazarus, the song?
Yes.
Okay, it was going to be a musical, and he was going to be David Bowie / the lead, Michael C. Hall. Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah. Oh, did it happen?
I don't think so.
I don't think it happened. Yeah, I may be wrong, but that would have been, yeah, that would have been just like, yeah, that's the type of musical I want to see. Because I'm sure you were the same. You got the album and then you realized he was dead, and then you went back and listened to the album and went, oh,
yeah,
yeah. Rest in peace, Deb. Yes, it's middle-aged old white man now. I hear.
Oh no, he did do the musical.
It did happen. It did happen. I wonder if there's any footage of that on YouTube.
I imagine so. When David Bowie and Michael C. Hall met for the first time, the rock star looked at the actor, held him in his gaze for a moment, and then asked, "What is it with you?" Wow,
not wrong.
He's a good match for Bowie.
He is, yeah. Certainly the older Bowie. Yeah.
But yeah,
younger Bowie for the biopic, which will inevitably happen.
Yeah.
Tilda Swinton, please.
Oh, please, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only choice really that makes all of the sense. Yeah. And they knew each other as well. Yeah.
And acted together a bit, didn't they?
Did they? But in terms of androgyny, not just non-binary, I mean beyond gender. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, look, I think that's us.
Yeah, I think that's us, yes. Watch Killer Sofa, listen to Black Star.
Yeah.
Also check out Heavenly Creatures before it's released, and do a little Wikipedia on the backstory there as well. Christchurch true crime story. It's the number one that will come up. Oh, maybe after the terrorist shooting that happened. Yeah, that shit. Don't ever get me started. I've seen documentaries on how that was caused with the 4chans and the QAnons and the Facebook militarized groups, etc., all coalescing into that. And then it being seen live, and then people live commenting along, go on, get him. Watching that was very emotional. That's horror. That's real horror.
Proper horror.
There, Baron. That's proper horror. We don't do that. We do Killer Sofas. Gute night, children. Gute night. What do you say to the children, Baron?
Well, did you have any shout outs as well? I've done mine.
Evil Corp, Skate Man. Yeah. They'll do.
Yes. So go to bed, children. Go to bed.
Oh, the Killer Sofa, Freddie. He's going to snuggle in bed next to you. The rest is censored. It's going on YouTube. I can't even, Baron.
I love it when you're evil. This is me at my most evil. Do your evil laugh.